Yep.
Hello. Hi, guys. So thank you for all joining. I'm just gonna wait for like 30 seconds for more people to join the event, and we're ready to roll. Okay, that's about it. Thank you all for joining me today. It is 9:30 in New York. It is around like early afternoon in Greece, where Nicolas is based at. So a little bit intro. My name is Frida, in case you don't know us. I'm the partner of strategy and management in Sperax. And why don't we just do a short round of intro, starting with Susu.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Susu. So I'm here as an economic researcher, and I'm helping to develop the stablecoins. And a little academic background about myself is that I went to University of Virginia, majored in economics and statistics. And after that, I went to Cornell University, mastered in financial engineering. So I've always been captivated by this all like financial technology stuff. So that's why I joined Sperax since last December.
Hey, Nicolas.
Hey everyone, my name is Nicolas. I'm from Greece. Some information about me. I have an undergrad and a master's degree in economics from Edinburgh and University College London. Before getting into crypto, I spent some time in academia. I was a research fellow at the London School of Economics and Princeton University, doing research on the intersection of macroeconomics and econometrics. I joined crypto about 2 years ago. I worked at Terra. I helped them design their stability mechanism as well as some of their upcoming products, and joined Sperax about 7 months ago and have been working closely at designing USDs, which is going to be Sperax native stablecoin.
Hello, can you? Okay. Hi, my name is Guangye. I'm also doing a economic researcher at Sperax. And I got my undergrad degree in economics at Smith College, and right now I'm doing my PhD in economics at University of Michigan. I joined Sperax because I wanted to better understand how cryptocurrency and especially stablecoins work. And my time at Sperax has taught me a lot about this field.
You're muted.
Thank you. Actually, Guangye, would you like to start by telling us a little bit more about why, what draws you to the stablecoin design and why you're passionate about it? And what is your biggest takeaway from the team so far?
Yeah, so part of it stems from my academic research, because I think of cryptocurrencies or companies that issue cryptocurrencies as kind of starting their own economy. So a big question is like, how do you keep your economy or your currency stable and make sure that your currency price doesn't just crash or fluctuate too much? So it's kind of like a similar question to how like a small open economy tries to stabilize its own currency. So by looking at these stable coins in the cryptocurrency space, it's kind of like you get to observe like different they're like experiments, and then you can kind of observe how different mechanisms can affect the prices of these tokens.
Fantastic. Susu, yeah, what is your interest in stablecoin? And I heard there's something really exciting from your side, like development and research. Would you like to share with us?
Yeah, I think it's a gradual process, because at first when I joined, I didn't really know about this industry. The more I learn about it, I feel like there are more things to learn. And then that's one thing that really captivated me. And also I feel like stablecoin kind of like, resolve all the hurdle, like the happening in the crypto world with being like really volatile and everything. And especially like joining this, like the conference last weekend at Bitcoin in Miami, I feel like I get more motivated in terms of, actually building this like economy where in more modernized way, to actually transform how, we're thinking of like the traditional finance. And yeah, definitely something to be looking forward in like Sperax in the future products. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, actually talking about future products, something that we can preview about what you're working on?
Yeah, so because thinking about like how we actually using stablecoin, I think not only preserving the wealth from like having this stable interest rate, but also utilizing it in like other protocols, for instance, like synthetic assets and option products, which will be built upon on the Sperax platform. So I think that's something to be looking forward to.
Great. So Nicolas, backbone of our USDS design, what draws you into stablecoin design, and what are the next steps for our stablecoin?
So I have always been excited with blockchain technology. It's a technology that allows almost instant settlements at really low fees, and most importantly, in a decentralized / permissionless manner. So you can do a lot of the financial transactions without relying on the middleman. So you can effectively cut the middleman and imitate many of the activities the financial sector is doing at the moment. However, one of the biggest problems with cryptocurrencies is the high volatility they have. I think that's the main hurdle when it comes to adoption. So in my mind, stablecoin combines the stability of fiat currencies together with the technological breakthroughs of blockchain.
I see. Those are very, very great background for people to have a little bit of context of the team. So, so let's get started. I think everybody to the audience, given that our stablecoin is designed in a relatively complex mechanism, feel free to post whatever questions you have in the question column. Nothing is too plain or introductory. We are happy to make you get familiar with our stablecoin design as much as possible. So I'm pretty sure everybody's like, there are so many stablecoins existing in the market right now. How do you differentiate yourselves from other competitors? Nicolas, would you like to take this question?
Yeah, so the main benefits I see that USDS is going to have relative to the competitors are the following. A big problem with many of the algorithmic stablecoins is that they tend to be highly volatile. So take 𝗵𝗆𝗧𝗘𝗥𝗏 as an example, take Basis Cash. Even Terra, the project I worked for, suffered severely during the recent market crash. So when you rely 100% on an algorithm, this introduces a lot of instability, and at times it becomes hard to defend the peg. On the other hand, then, you have many crypto-backed stablecoins like DAI, which although they tend to be quite stable and they are decentralized and permissionless, the main problem with them is that they tend to rely on really high levels of collateral to keep the peg stable, which is to say that their scalability gets significantly limited. And then finally, we have the fiat-backed stablecoins, which are by far the most popular at the moment. And although they have many advantages, I think the main problem is that they operate mostly off-chain. So this creates a lot of lack of transparency in the way they operate. And also, they're no longer decentralized or censorship resistant. So I think USDS will combine all the good elements from crypto-backed and algorithmic stablecoin to offer a stablecoin that is robust, is easily scalable, and most importantly, will offer passive income to all of the stablecoin holders. So a huge differentiating advantage of USDS is that people who hold their stablecoin will also be receiving passive income, which I'll explain later how it's being generated. So think of it as a stablecoin and savings account all in one, which is fully decentralized, permissionless, and also scalable.
Okay. Is there any existing stablecoin in the market that kind of is similar to our design, so people can have a more of an idea what our product's going to be like?
So you can think of our stablecoin as a combination of DAI and Terra. So we draw elements from both of those stablecoins, and I would the most similar to our design from the current stablecoins, I would say it's Frax.
Okay, I see. Yeah, and just for everyone's reference, we're going to publish a comparison article very soon. Just give you like more idea why our stablecoin is better and more scalable, more trustless in the future. Moving on to more questions. So when talking about stablecoin, people just default care more about its stability. And could you please walk us through how our stablecoin can stay stable? Yeah. Nicolas, would you like to take this question?
Sure. So our stablecoin is explicitly collateralized by a basket of cryptocurrencies, as well as algorithmically collateralized by our own native token, which is called SPA. So the composition between the algorithmic and the crypto collateral component will depend on market conditions. The key insight, though, is that at any given point in time, people will be able to redeem one stablecoin at the protocol level for $1 worth of cryptocurrencies. This is extremely powerful for the following reasons. Let's assume, for instance, that on an exchange, the stablecoin trades above the peg. Then what will happen is many users have an incentive to send SPA as well as collateral within the protocol, $1 worth of SPA and collateral, create one stablecoin out of that, and sell it on an exchange, pocketing all the profit. So this act of arbitrage will bring the price back to $1. In the converse case, where on an exchange or on a decentralized exchange, the stablecoin trades less than $1, what people can do then is they can buy that stablecoin from that exchange, send it to the protocol, and eventually get back $1 worth of cryptocurrencies, therefore pocketing the difference and pushing the price back to $1. So by having the protocol at any given point in time allowing redemptions at $1 will allow arbitrageurs to tightly defend the peg at the $1 range.
Okay, so can I put it this way, that arbitrage opportunities come with the USDS is the nature force that actually always stay the USDS pegged to $1. That is how it makes it stable.
Exactly, or really tightly pegged around $1.
Okay. Second question is just following up what you mentioned about passive income. How can people, because we normally do not hear that you can generate passive income by holding stablecoins. So how do you achieve by stabilizing the stablecoin while making people to this chance to generate passive income? Actually, Susu, would you like to take this question?
Yeah, sure. So what we're gonna do is that for all the collateral that deposit in the protocols for generating the USDS, we will take all those collaterals to put into other DeFi protocols. For instance, 𝗦𝗍𝗃 initially in our first version to actually generate, to be actively management of all these assets, and which give back, all the passive incomes. But in the future, I think Sperax will definitely gonna deploy our own DeFi aggregators to generate more incomes.
Okay, that's very interesting. So you're basically hedging you're basically maximizing the user's collateral composition by putting it into a yield generator. Okay. May the audience know how much passive income they can generate from holding, for say, $1 worth of USDS? What is the percentage? And then can review at this moment?
Yeah, so currently we're targeting at a 15% in average for the APY. But definitely it also depends on the market condition. But what we can guarantee is that there will always definitely going to be a stable or positive amount of incomes that are generated from USDS.
Okay, good. Moving on to the next question. How can I get USDS? Where can I get this amazing stablecoin? Guangye, would you like to take this one?
Sure. One way you can, once USDS launches, one way you can get USDS is simply by minting it. So you could buy some SPA and then also other collaterals, and then you can deposit them into USDS protocol to mint a USDS.
Okay. What is it? Can you walk us through the exact steps of claiming USDS, Nicolas?
Yeah, so as Guangye said, minting it is going to be pretty simple. You just need to send to a smart contract some SPA tokens that will get burned and some collateral that will get locked and get deployed from the protocol on DeFi yield aggregators. That's if you want to mint it. Or alternatively, if you don't want to go through the hassle of interacting with a smart contract, we will be setting up a lot of liquidity pools at launch where they will allow swaps between existing stablecoins and USDS.
Okay. By the way, we're gonna integrate this minting and redeeming USDS function in the Sperax Play mobile app very soon. So it's gonna be extremely smooth with a very, very easily navigated UI. So you can basically get USDS in one click. So look forward to that. And let's get into the community questions without further ado. What is your ultimate goal of creating USDS, Nicolas?
So we want to create a cryptocurrency that is easily scalable, robust, and at the same time decentralized / censorship resistant. So someone could claim, for instance, that fiat-backed stablecoins tend to be easily scalable, but they're definitely not censorship resistant. Like they can easily be shut down by a government, or the issuers can just exit scam. So our main objective was to have a stablecoin that operates 100% on-chain and also offers a lot of scalability while not sacrificing on the robustness side. So yes, these are the main objectives, and we think by combining all of those elements, we'll create a stablecoin that will have massive adoption across DeFi. And we expect DeFi to be a hugely growing industry in the next few years.
That is exactly what Susu, Alec, and David, including me, felt after Bitcoin 2021, is that we understand how Bitcoin can be scalable based on it's easier to understand for the general mass. However, DeFi, which is more applicable and more beneficial to more audience, is just a little harder to comprehend. So it's very challenging to spread the message, to disseminate how you can just immediately benefit by participating in some DeFi activities. Well, that is our mission. We hope to onboard as many people on the DeFi field as much as possible. And yeah, that is something we strive to do. Moving on to the next question. Do you target to be accepted by like USDT, USDS, and used widely in the crypto world, or will it only be a stablecoin that's be circulated in Sperax ecosystem only? Nicolas?
Great question. So our main objective is to be as interoperable as possible, and that's why we decided to launch the USDS first on Ethereum and then on our own native chain. We're actively working with multiple L1 projects to have USDS wrapped on Polkadot, Solana, Algorand, and many other cool chains. And we are in discussions with many of those projects to integrate in a lot of their DeFi use cases. So the short answer is that USDS is going to be highly interoperable with multiple use cases across many chains.
Got it. Interoperability, that is the goal. Another question. In the USDS white paper, it is mentioned that the collateral will be formed in both minting and burning processes. His concern or her concern is that how is the difference between these two collaterals balanced? How do they balance, since it's not guaranteed that for the same 1 USD worth of minting and burning 1 USDS, the collateral will be the same. Is that comprehensible? Is that a question comprehensible?
So I think I understand the question. I want to start by making it clear that at any point in time, people will be able to redeem 1 USDS for $1 worth of cryptocurrencies. The thing is that the composition between Spa and Collateral will be changing depending on market conditions. And this is going to happen the following way. The protocol sets a collateral target. The collateral target will be a function of time, which is to say that as USDS and Spa mature, we will rely more and more on the algorithm and less on explicit collateral. So the main driver is going to be time. As time passes, the coin will become more algorithmic. It will become closer, more similar to Terra and less similar to DAI as time passes. Then the second component is USDS price. So whenever USDS trades less than $1, then the protocol will rely much more on collateral. So you will require more collateral to produce additional stablecoins. And whenever USDS trades above $1, the protocol will rely much more on the algorithmic component. So you will need higher Spa burning to produce stablecoins. So the switching between crypto collateral and algorithm will depend on USDS price in real time. Finally, when it comes to redemptions, the protocol will check the target collateral, the actual collateral, which might be a bit different because cryptocurrency prices fluctuate a lot. And then depending on that, if the protocol is under collateralized, then redemptions will use more Spa. If the protocol is over collateralized, redemptions will use more crypto collateral. So effectively, minting and redeeming is going to be switching on-chain based on market conditions to ensure that at any given point in time, protocol collateral is as close as possible to the target collateral.
I see. Okay. The next question is for Guangye. I think it's a little bit abstract, so just give your perspective as clearly as possible. People ask, is stablecoin the answer to all of the cryptocurrencies problems? What is your take?
I think it depends on like what you think are cryptocurrencies problems. I think a major issue with using just like Bitcoin or Ethereum for day-to-day transactions or for remittances is that the prices are so volatile, right? So if you're getting paid in Bitcoin or in Ethereum or some other token, then the value of your the tokens that you hold and your wealth as a result can fluctuate wildly. So in that sense, having a cryptocurrency that is pegged to the dollar or pegged to something whose value is stable can solve this problem, and making using cryptocurrency for day-to-day usages a lot more beneficial.
Yeah. I think this is a question that we'll discuss even in a deeper level, but unfortunately he or she did not specify what kind of problems he's thinking about. So, but thank you for the answer, Guangye. We got 2 more questions left from the pre-collected session. So the USDS is So with USDS, you're going to achieve an algorithmic stablecoin that incorporates a changing ratios of collaterals. Since this seems to be an unknown area for many people, because people will always assume there's going to be a fixed 1-versus-1 collateral ratio, how can you earn trust from the users? Susu, would you like to take this one?
I think Nicolas will better answer this question.
Yeah, sure, no pressure. Nico?
Yes, so excellent question. And we thought about it hard. The way we're going to approach it is that at launch, we are going to start with pretty high levels of collateral. So our design is going to be pretty similar to traditional crypto collateralized stablecoins. But then as time passes and as we prove that our stability mechanism works, as we prove that our stablecoin can be stable, it will become more and more algorithmic. So the fact that we start at a really high collateral ratio and then slowly over time convert to a more algorithmic stablecoin, I think will be sufficient to prove to the market that they can trust us.
Okay, great answer. Last one. How does the algorithm that determines the increase and decrease of the collateral work to keep USDS at a stable value? At what value is this modification of the collateral activated? I think I can probably interpret this question as, how do we define, as you said earlier, Nicolas, as USDS and SPA matures? Is there some quantitative way?
So that's the one side of the coin. So as I said, assuming USDS always trades at $1, then time is the only determinant. We have calibrated the model to reduce collateral ratio by about 1% every month. But there is also a dynamic component that depends on USDS price. So if USDS price is less than $1, it will require much higher collateral ratio to mint new stable coins. In the converse case, if USDS price is higher than $1, we will rely much more on the algorithmic component. So in the absence of any price volatility of USDS, time is the only determinant. Then if prices of the stablecoin become somewhat volatile, the collateral ratio will adjust depending on that volatility. It will increase if it's trading below the peg. It will decrease if it's trading above the peg.
Okay. One last question. It's not in the pre-collected session, but I'm just asking on behalf of the community, which I'm sure they care a lot about this. Can you explain in the plainest language, what is the exact relationship between SPA and USDS? Basically means that a lot of people care about our token price, how this introduction of USDS is going to affect the price of SPA. Yeah. Nicolas?
So I cannot make a price prediction per se, but I can say how the USDS will lead to, I think, higher long-term value for SPA. And this will come through 2 channels. First of all the transaction fees that are being generated from USDS will go to the SPA stakers. So if you stake your SPA tokens, you will be capturing all the fees generated by USDS. So as more people use USDS, as USDS market cap increases, we expect the cash flow accrued to become much higher. So that's the one side of the equation. The second side of the equation is that for new USDS to be minted, some SPA coins have to be burned. Initially, it's going to be only a small amount of SPA tokens. But then as the market matures, as I said, the coin will become more algorithmic. So more USDS expansion will lead to significantly higher SPA burning. Therefore, the design of USDS is such to pretty much give us high confidence that SPA will become highly deflationary in the near future. So the increase of staking rewards generated by transactions, as well as the deflationary design of SPA tokens, will probably lead to a higher fundamental value over time.
That is good. We don't give any financial advice, but based on Nicolas what just described, I guess it's a great time to buy in some SPA, obviously. And let's start with some live questions. Start with Aslam Ali. USDS mining is like other crypto that uses high power to mining because we need to use very less power. So do you think USDS mining is an accurate way to describe minting and redeeming? Yeah. How exactly we can use less power? What do you guys think?
At the moment, we will operate on Ethereum. So unfortunately, the computational cost of verifying the network, since it relies on Ethereum, it's going to be a proof of work system that will use some source of some energy source. But Ethereum will become proof of stake, so we will stop using that electricity power relatively soon. And then the plan is within the next 1 to 1.5 years to migrate USDS in our own Sperax chain, which is going to be a proof of stake chain that uses almost zero electricity. So from a long-term perspective, we can guarantee that USDS will have no environmental cost associated with it.
Good, that's great. That's great news. Next question for Susu. Owl, our community manager, asked this question on behalf of member Chester. When will liquidity mining be released? We'd love to build a position in Sperax in preparation for USDS launch.
Yeah, so the reason we actually postponed our liquidity mining is that because of like bear markets, but we were thinking of launching liquidity mining at the same time with like USDS launch. So thinking of like being like in mid of like June or like early July. But it's definitely like all the technical side from the engineering team, we're definitely getting ready for that. So yeah, stay tuned.
Okay. Following question from 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗘𝗥𝗏𝗏. I hope you pronounced that right. We already answered the first section of the question, how do we keep the stability of USDS against the market volatility? The second question is, one of the problems of stablecoins is a huge withdrawal fee. So how does USDS manage this on this front? What is your option? Guangye, would you like to take this one?
Sure. So with USDS, we have a approximately 0.1% deposit fee and a 0.1% redeeming fee. So when the prices, so under normal circumstances, both fees will just be 0.1%. And then under situations where like the USDS price is low, aka it's below $1, then the minting fee will be higher. That is to limit the minting, which will limit the growth of the USDS supply, so that to help bring the price back to $1 peg.
Okay. Next question. I think this one is really interesting. Yomi asked, how do we plan to create a demand and utility for USDS? So basically, how can we ensure there are always people looking to use our stablecoin, and what are the use cases and areas? Nicolas?
I would like to pass this question to Susu, since she has been working on some pretty exciting developments on that front.
Sure.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, how do we plan to create the demand and utility of USDS? So, yeah.
I think, it ran into people asking about like why you're creating this stablecoin. I think the most instinctive question is that we need to have this like use case for the stablecoin, so not just like having this coin. So what I'm thinking of like for the demand is that definitely, as I mentioned in the beginning of our AMA, is that we definitely have these future products, for instance, like synthetic assets, where the user can actually track or mimic all the like traditional stocks markets through a on-chain platform, and also at the same time like treating them through like option contracts. Be more flexible in your investment strategies, and I then feel like that will create a huge demand for the USDS in the future.
Okay. What about the utility, aka the use cases for stablecoin for USDS in your mind?
So the main utility of USDS, as I said in the beginning of the discussion, is that it's going to combine a savings account and a stablecoin all in one. So simply by holding that stablecoin, you will be able to generate passive yield via yield farming without having to possess any sophisticated knowledge or know all the know-how behind it. So it's going to be passive income generated for the masses in an extremely simple way. So we think that's a major use case to begin with. And then secondly, since it's going to be a coin that operates fully on chain while also being highly scalable, we believe it's going to capture a lot of the growth of the DeFi space.
Okay, I see. Another question, I think probably I can take this one since it's not very technical, that I just can't understand why there are multiple stablecoins in the market that are needed since they are all try to achieve the stability that is pegged to $1. I think at this moment, compared to thousands of cryptocurrencies in the market, there are far less enough stablecoins at the same place. There are only like more in the dozens of stablecoins. We definitely need more such competitors to make us better, or just try to mature this market to make it progress even faster, accelerate the process. So we at least at Sperax, we don't believe this is a winner-take-all situation. I think once we get more liquidity, more user volume, it is going to be a situation that we can expand the pie much bigger, scale it into a different kind of level that is beyond our current imagination. So we welcome all our stablecoins in the market, and we're confident that our USDS can gain a lot of utility, like people asked previously. Hope that answered your question. How do we determine the collaterals used for the minting of the stablecoin? Nicolas?
Would you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, how do we pick the collaterals?
So we had a two-way process. First of all, we wanted to choose multiple stablecoins that have good liquidity. So we picked a big basket of stablecoins with good liquidity and wide adoption to be used as a collateral. Having a stablecoin collateral makes things much easier because we remove a lot of the volatility associated with other cryptocurrencies. And then secondly, for the volatile cryptocurrencies, we ran a couple of simulations to determine like the worst case scenarios. And we decided to choose to start pretty conservatively with Ethereum and Bitcoin as the main collateral options. And then as the system matures, we will allow 𝗕𝗏 to incorporate more and more collateral. So SPA holders will be able to choose post-Genesis whatever collateral they wish, set a proposal, and then vote whether that collateral should be accepted to be a part of our basket.
Okay.
So yeah, that was our main process.
Yeah. Talking about proposals, guys, we're gonna make our forum live very soon. So we're gonna you can post proposals on the forum, and we're gonna have the DApp page available very soon as well, so we can do some on-chain voting. One of the major issues is not only about USDS collaterals, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you care about is the experience points are collected on Sperax Play, how to convert it into our spot price. So it's gonna be DAO determined. So hopefully that can answer your questions.
And just to add a quick point, just because I saw the question, they asked whether we're going to accept fiat currencies as collateral. As I said in the beginning, we plan to operate 100% on chain. So we won't have any off-chain verification process. Therefore, we will only have cryptocurrencies as collateral to be able to be 100% transparent and on-chain. Otherwise, when we start introducing fiat, there is going to be an off-chain settlement process that can introduce a lot of lack of transparency, as the recent situation with Tether and USDC has shown.
Okay, cool. Actually, I think pretty much the rest of the questions have already been covered when we do this Q&A. So if you have more questions, just please post it on the question forum. If no more, I think that will be today's AMA, because it's going to be stablecoin related, so it's relatively shorter than we normally do. But thank you all for joining us, and thank you for all of the questions. Please contact us on Telegram if you have any further questions, and we're going to publish more Medium articles, more Twitter threads, just to walk you through how our stablecoin works and why it's better than all others. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great week, have a great Monday, and we will see you guys on social media. Thank you all. Bye.